This conference will now be recorded.
So we created application, object, and tab. So now we are going to see how to add a field to the object. Okay. So object has a field. Field is nothing but a column, right? The field is of two types, standard and custom fields. Okay. So standard fields are created by Salesforce, which cannot be deleted, but we can customize. Okay. When you say customize, we can rename the label. That's only one customization you can do. We can only rename the label. We cannot rename the field. We cannot rename the, we cannot rename the name of the field. A field has two parts, right? One is a label and another is a name. Okay. Suppose I have account name. So I cannot have a space here. So this is a name you refer in your program. But label is going to be displayed in the UI. Wherever you like to display the name, account name, you can display it in any name you want. It can have a space also. So your object has a label, name, right? Similarly, your field has a label and name. Two things are there. Label can be renamed for your standard object, but name cannot be renamed. What about your custom? Custom field can be, we can do rename the label as well as field name also, right? From recent item also, from here also you can go, right? From here also I can go to the training custom section or else create objects, training. So the field contains two things, label, name. Name is being referred in your program. A label is to display it in a UI. Okay, right. And there are some system fields. Okay, there are some system fields. The 7 important fields we referred here. One is ID field. Remember we discussed about ID field? I have training object here. Okay. Say I have a course name here. Okay, and price of the course. Right, like this. Suppose I'm inserting a row here. I'm inserting a row here. What will happen? Salesforce will automatically generate an 18-digit ID here. 18-digit ID here. Okay. So that field is called a system field, ID field. So it's a 18-digit unique ID. Okay. And the first 3 digit, we discussed about this, right? Called entity ID. And this entire ID is a case sensitive. Okay. We'll take a quick example. I go to account. I'm seeing one a record here, which will show only 15 digit here. The first 3 digits is called entity ID. So every row in this table is going to have the first 3 digit common. 001 is for account. Okay, if you go to contact 003. So this entity ID for your customer standard object is going to be same in your org and my org across the customers. But what about any custom object? That will be different. In my case, it's in my case it might be different, and in your case it might be different. But what about standard object entity ID? It's going to be same. Okay. Now I don't insert any row here, but there is some 3 digit appearing, right? That is the entity ID. When I insert any row here, then it's going to be the first 3 digit digit ID A00 followed by another 15 digit alphanumeric ID. What about the account 001, 003? Got me? If I replace that ID with 01 and hit enter, automatically account is selected. So it's like your web URL, your Visualforce page, and your every URL you are seeing in your platform. It's like a request to the server and get that page. Right? Suppose I need that page, Google. A request go to the server and get that page, load the content. Similar thing is happening in your platform. Everything is going to be based on URL. Your classic application, everything is going to be based on URL. Is clear to all of you? Okay, so that is your system defined ID which will get generated whenever the user is inserting a row into the object, any new row, any new record, right? And there is another field called is deleted. So what will happen? I go to one record, I delete. So what normally happens when you delete any row in your any file in your system? It goes to recycle bin, right? Similarly here, it goes to a recycle bin. Okay, it goes to recycle bin which appear in the sidebar. I go here, it is here. So how many days it will be here? Only 15 days it will be there. Okay, before 15 days I can undelete empty. Undelete. Empty will permanently delete the data. We'll go with the undelete.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, if you go with the empty, then it will remove all the records permanently, permanent deletion. So anytime I can recall before 15 days. Okay, so when you delete any rows, what happens? There is a field in the object is deleted. That will be automatically go with the true. It means only for the deleted rows. Okay, so that's a field, system field is deleted is a boolean value. Boolean means what? True or false. Boolean is a kind of data type. What type of data I can store in a field? It's a boolean type. It automatically goes with true when user delete any record. So for this record, okay, for this record I will have one more field called is deleted. For that field is going to be true. We'll follow this. If I delete this row, what will happen? This will go to the recycle bin, and I have a field called deleted. It goes to true. Able to follow this? Okay. Created by ID. You know, created by, right? We all discussed created by. Whoever created the record, that username will appear, and that user will have ID also. That user will have a ID. So that ID will be stored here. That's all. So these fields are system fields. We cannot do any modification. We are not giving any value on ourselves, which will be automatically populated. Okay, ID of the user. What is ID? Again, 18-digit ID. So what is ID field? Because any user I'm adding, any user we are adding here. All of you know about adding user. Whenever I click, adding user here, what happens? A row will be inserted into a standard object called user. So whenever insert a row into the user object, what will happen? ID field will be generated, right? So that is that 18-digit ID will be stored here, created by ID. Got me? And whoever modify the record is ID. And what is the created date? When I insert a row into the object, the created date will be automatically populated. So where is the created date here? I go here. It's like a timestamp. Okay, timestamp means what? Date, time together. Okay, and last modified by. And there is a system mod stamp. So this field will store date and time when the record was modified programmatically. Through program, if you modify anything, this field will have value. Got me? This will have value only when value is modified through program. So these are the fields referred by the system, and there are some fields called audit fields. Am I adding more stuff here? Just go through once. what it is. Okay, need not explore much on this, but go through once or twice to understand what is a system defined fields and what is a audit fields. You need not be spend more time on understanding and explore this concept, but further down it's more important, you need to understand it, that's all. Okay, right. So these are system defined fields. Now we are going to see how to create a, I mean, what are the custom fields? Creating fields, maybe we'll take it tomorrow. We'll see the types of field, right? So when I say type of field, right? Any guess what are the fields I can create in the training? For example, training is object used to handle training activities of uh, a course, right? So what type of information you are going to capture? Then we'll go for what type of data I can store. First, you have to understand what is the purpose of application and what type of data we are going to store. Then we'll decide what type of data field I can create. Correct. So what type of information I can store here? Name of the course, right? Duration, cost, okay. The fee, start date, end date, okay. The timing of the course, duration is covered, yeah. Okay, then number of seats, right? Who is a trainer, right? Course is started or not, status of the course, am I right? In progress, completed, pending, whatever, okay. Right, whether it's a online course or okay classroom training, it's like a yes or no type of yes or no type of data, okay. Location of the training, right, whether it's in anywhere, got me, something like this. Yes, it's more important, right? Contact number, email, any a site name, right, where you access the materials. Yeah, what else? Address, okay. Address, long break, okay. No, no, we'll sort out that one. Maybe I'd like to attach the syllabus, right? A big text box about the course, okay. Any pre-qualification, prerequisite, or else I'll put like education qualification. So some of this data I need for my application, okay. So this decide what type of field you are going to create in this object, right? So sometimes you get a requirement, they'll give only application. You come up with what type of information, like if you are a domain, if you have good domain knowledge, for example, you gain a good domain knowledge in the insurance business, then in insurance project they will not give all the details to you, they just give you, I need to capture customer payment details, so come up with the data what needs to be captured. If you are experienced insurance functional guy, I'm saying, right? But usually what you'll do in real time, you may get all the specifications. Suppose you are experienced candidate, in domain knowledge, you certified domain guy, then you may need to create from the scratch every fields of your object table, Okay, so understand this, right? So what type of data we are going to store? That's going to be decided by field type. Okay, right. So name of the course, it's going to be a text type of field. It means everything is going to be a, it can accept alphanumeric value also. Duration, what are you going to store? Numbers. It's number, but you remember a currency field? A number will have just a display as a number only. But what about currency? It will be display as a symbol, right? Prefix symbol. So that field called currency. What about this? Date. It can be date or timestamp also. Date type or timestamp. Okay, see here. I go to opportunity. What type of field is this? Date. What is this? Text. Okay. So text, date. What about this? Just a number field. Okay. So number field, date, time. So again, timing, which will capture only the timing. Okay. There is a type called time also is there. What about number of seats? Number. Right. See, this is, you go with the text as of now, because there is a way you can create relationship with the user object. User object already contains the user data, right? I can choose a record from the user object. So that type of relationship field you can create. That can be discussed later and a different topic. So what about this? Yeah, but I'm going to provide an option to choose options so that user can choose the option. Drop down type of field. Okay, it's a kind of drop down which is called pick list. In Salesforce it called as pick list. So what is this? Pick list type. Pick list type. Got me? So that's the type of field called pick list. It's a kind of, it's a boolean. It's a boolean, yes or no. Okay, yes or no. Say for example, I'm going to have like this. It's online or is yes or no. That's it. Okay, when you say yes or no option, we have a field in Salesforce custom object called checkbox. That's all. Checkbox. It's not drop down. If you say yes or no drop down, it become a pick list field. Okay, it's going to be a yes or no option. So what internally store if I enable and save it? The field is going to store value true. If I don't enable and save it, false. That's all. Okay, that field name is called, type is called checkbox, and it's again pick list. It's called a phone type. We have phone type field in the Salesforce. Okay, what is the purpose of phone type field? See, I create some contact record here. Okay, I give some phone value and save it. Yeah, you seen it? It automatically formatted to phone number. It automatically formats. Okay, so it can accept a special character also. Got me? So that's the type of field you can create. Contact number, email. We have type as email also. Okay, so what is the purpose? So there is it's the email field. Got me? I'm just trying to give the email field. Uh, what happened here? Okay. Okay. I'm just giving just a name and save it. So what happens? Yeah. So it does the validation automatically. Okay. It expects the input in the form of email ID. It won't check whether email ID is actual email ID or not, but the format will check whether it's a email format or not. So that validation will be there in your email type of field. Your phone will display the format the input and display in different format with the bracket, hyphen and all. This will have a inbuilt validation, okay. And site, when you give the site name, what should appear? It should appear in a hyperlink, right? Link, so that we click on it, it goes to the, so there is a type called URL. Formats, okay, display in defined format is inbuilt format. We cannot define the format as inbuilt validation displays as link. Got me? So these are the properties. Similarly, the date, what is this? A calendar drop down will create. So automatically a drop down to select the date will appear. This will appear. You need not put any coding things and all here. When you create a date type field, automatically the drop down will appear, calendar drop down. These are the properties of this field type. And what about currency? Will display with the currency symbol. Am I right? Yes. Yes, character properties of the currency type. When you choose that field type, it's just a overview I'm giving. Okay, we're going to see again detailed about other properties. How many digits you can give, and what is a decimal. Got me? And whether it's a required field or not. That's a step to create field. But we are just discussing a overview of what type of information you can capture, and in general how to separate the field type. Okay, and syllabus address is going to be a long text area. It means what? More than one line you can capture the data. More than one line. Your text type, only one line. It's more than one line you can capture. Okay. Syllabus, more than one line. There is another field called rich text area. Okay. We'll discuss about this. Multi. More than one option I need to select. Pick list, how many options you can select? Pick list, only one. Education qualification, maybe more than one option I need to select. Got me? So how did you select your tab? A tab in the left side, you select multiple tabs and move to the right side, right? For your application. Remember? So that's a multi-select pick list type of field. So such type of field you can create. Okay, right. So in general, we have a text type where we capture the number, formatted display, date. So below text type, we have a text, text area, long text area, rich text area. See, when I say text, alphanumeric is acceptable. Okay, alphanumeric as special character also you can enter here. All this considers a text type of field. Number, we have a number, currency also, and there is a one more field. You can one more field type called a percentage field type. Okay, what is percentage field type? Listen here, I give some value here. It is a percentage type of field, and click save. It is a percentage. Internally, it will be stored as 0.90. It means 90 divided by 100. Okay, so that's a type of field. And formatted your phone, email. Okay, URL also. This comes under date type, date time. Okay, time field, and boolean checkbox. Okay, and other than this, we have encrypted field also. It means how do you enter password, right? You enter password, it will be masked. The character will be hidden. So such type of field also you can create. Test encrypted. Okay, and one more field, geolocation type. Okay, geolocation means people know about latitude, longitude. Okay, we rarely use this latitude, longitude. So this type of value you can store here in the case of geolocation type. So in general, these are the field types we have. And one more field, more field types, formula type. Okay, formula type is nothing but it's going to get value from another field. We are not going to give value from the formula. It gets a value. For example, I like to calculate final fee. Okay, which is coming from another field, discount multiplied by fee. So when you give value for discount and fee, the formula field will get value, final fee. Okay, such type of field you can create. You can give some formula into that field. So whenever user give the value for discount and fee and save the record, the final fee will display. It's clear? So these are the field types we have. Text type can accept alphanumeric. Maximum you can go 255 character. It's single line only you can enter. Okay, so we have seen like why it is appearing every time. So many, right? So text type only one line data you can capture. Okay, text area is 255 characters only maximum, but multiple lines you can get the data. Multiple lines. Okay, so in your here example you take is like this field, description field. Okay, you can enter more than one lines character. These are a text type, and this is your text area. Long text area, more characters you can enter. Okay, so you can go till 50 lines and even bigger box, bigger one. Got me? We have limitation here, more characters here, right? So you need not be very familiar with the number of characters can be captured. This may not be a question in your interview. how many characters max you can store. If you don't remember that also fine, but if you don't know what are types of field types, then that's a problem. Got me? If you don't know the maximum length, that's fine, but for the information I given here. Okay, and text area rich, okay, is an important field. Every other field, suppose I give some value here, I cannot highlight this, right? It's a non-formatted content. I cannot highlight, I cannot color this, I cannot do anything. Format I cannot do. But what about rich text area type? I can format. I can format the content. When we create this field, we'll see how to format the content. People able to follow this? Any text I give here, just a raw text, I cannot bold it. Control B. In your Word document, you can bold it, right? But what about in your notepad? You cannot highlight or put an underline there. So that type of format, we can do it in the rich text area, right? And font type, it display the data in format. We'll follow this. You give something like this, then it will display as a 984 like this. Okay. And checkbox is a Boolean type, right? Is a Boolean type, true or false. Currency, prefix with dollar. So here you decide maximum how many digits you can go. Only 18 digits, okay, including your decimal, including decimal. Altogether it's going to be 18 digit. When the symbol is prefixed, then what type of organization you are? Single currency or multiple? Single currency, right? When you enable multiple currency, what will happen? This will become abbreviation, USD, INR. Got me, right? So in either case, it will format the display, whether it's abbreviation or symbol. Okay, date type. So what is the date type? A property, it will bring a calendar automatically. Again, this will bring a calendar. Okay, and the number, you can only store the number maximum 18 characters, and percentage, any number you give, that will be stored internally as a percentage. Okay, suppose I create the field called discount, I give 50, internally it will stored as 0.50, and now it will be display 50%. Okay, so this is how it will display. Your email will format the, we already seen it, right? When you don't give any input other than email format, will display the error message saying like the format is incorrect. And pick list, you can display a drop down. Okay, we are going to see the demo how to create a pick list. I just give overview. Okay, we again discuss about how many options and all. And multi pick list, more than one pick list you can choose. That data will be masked. When you enter, data will be masked. Auto number, we already discussed, right? You can also create auto number field, custom field also you can create auto number type. Okay, right? So with this we can close session today. Fine, right? We'll continue tomorrow. So try to complete the exercise. I just upload uh, till here. Online people, see you tomorrow.